Hello everyone, welcome to Sunya IAS and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about parliamentary committees. Now, parliamentary committees are an important topic increasingly gaining relevance in the UPSC examination. Why? Because they are related to the procedural aspect of the parliament. And also because UPSC knows that Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and everyone is doing very nicely now. So parliamentary committees is one topic. So for example, the lesser read topics, like there have been questions lately on deputy speaker. Out of nowhere, there have been questions on deputy speaker, on these kind of topics, which usually people leave, right? So the conclusion is that we cannot leave anything. Okay, so parliamentary committees we are going to do thoroughly, very important. For mains also they are very important because the role of committees has been declining, etc. But for prelims basis, we are going to discuss it today. Before starting, let me just tell you, for those who have joined for the first time, how we are going about these lectures. Our goal with these lectures is that I want you to prepare for the final revision of your examination before 1 week before your prelims, right? That is going to be my goal with you. So for that, we are going to prepare final set of notes. We are going to prepare final set of notes while solving these MCQs. How this course runs is that we solve the MCQs and side by side we make notes in such a manner that you can just simply go back to those notes and revise everything that you want to. You don't have to open M. Laxmikant again. You don't have to open any other book again. To make these kind of notes, what you need to do is you need to make them on A4 size sheets so that you can actually make them and you can actually channelize them according to what you want to revise. Okay, don't make it on bound registers, make it on A4 size sheets. Okay, so regarding parliamentary committees, first of all, they are different from the cabinet committees. You need to understand this. Cabinet committees are a part of executive, but parliamentary committees are a part of legislature. Okay, parliamentary committees are a part of legislature, and these committees are extra constitutional committees. Okay, these are extra constitutional committees. This means that there is no specific article that is mentioned in that is mentioned in the constitution for these committees. So they are extra constitutional committees. However, the constitution at various times makes provisions for the formation of these committees. So for example, Article 118, for example, gives the power to the respective houses to manage their own procedures and rule of procedures, etc. So this is very important that you should know that they are extra constitutional. So please write this down. Some basic facts that you need to understand is that who do you think it will work under? As a parliamentary committee, not a cabinet committee. Cabinet committee will work under the prime minister. But parliamentary committee, who do you think it will work under? It invariably works under the speaker. It invariably works under the speaker or the Rajya Sabha chairperson, that is the vice president of India. I hope this distinction is very, very clear to you. So after we know that they work under the speaker, basically the chairperson of the house, the speaker or the chairperson of the house, they should also be elected or nominated by the speaker. So speaker or chairperson, the presiding officer, basically they have immense powers to nominate also and to monitor the work that these committees are doing also. Along with this, another function that they do is that they receive the reports of these committees also. I hope you understand that here the role in cabinet committees that was being played by the Prime Minister of India is now being played by the Speaker or the Vice President of India, because they are the presiding officer of the House. I hope you understand that. Another question that you might be asked is that do they have a secretariat? Do these committees have a secretariat of their own? Yes, they have a secretariat of their own, which is provided by the respective house itself. Okay, so if it's a committee of the Lok Sabha will provide the secretariat. If it's a committee of the Rajya Sabha, so on and so forth. The secretariat has been provided. So please write this down, and such should be your notes. Such mini notes should be there that you can just move on after writing these 3-4 lines, and your notes will be done for this particular information. Now, let's move on to the questions, because as we do each and every question, I will keep on covering each and every committee. Okay. First of all, let me just tell you the distinction: parliamentary committees and cabinet committees. Cabinet committees we have already covered, right? Parliamentary committees are of various types. So, for example, there are committees to inquire. Please write this down. There are committees to inquire. Then there are financial committees. Most important committees are financial committees. Okay, there are 3 committees under the financial committees, and we will study them. Then there are committees to scrutinize and control. There are committees to scrutinize and control. Who would they be controlling? They would be controlling the executive of India, right? Then there are committees on day-to-day business. Committees on day-to-day business of the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. So day-to-day business committees, for example, there is Business Advisory Committee. These committees have the right and the responsibility to oversee the day-to-day proceedings. All the other committees do not have these rights. It is only the day-to-day committees who are actually having these right of monitoring the day-to-day events of these particular, of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Then there are housekeeping committees. They are not very important, but just, like in an office, you have the HR department, you have these kind of things. So these committees do that kind of a job. These all are the permanent committees. Okay. Then there are ad hoc committees also, which are made to resolve some particular issue that has come up very, very recently. So, for example, there was a committee on MP lads, the scheme MP lads, whether it should be there, how it should be reformed, etc. etc. Once these committees perform their responsibility, then they are dissolved, these committees. But the above committees, which we will cover one by one, they are actually permanent committees. I hope you understand that. Fine. Now let's start with the questions. The first question: inquiry committee are constituted by the speaker or chairperson to inquire into the specific subjects. And this is about ad hoc committees. The Joint Committee on Bofors Contract falls under the category of advisory committees, and advisory committees are concerned with bills and their procedures. How many of the given statements are correct? See one by one and see which statement is absolutely incorrect. See, Joint Committee on Bofors Contract, by name it shows that it is an ad hoc committee, right, for the Bofors contract scam that was there. Okay, so it will not be falling under the category of advisory committee. It will be falling under the category of inquiry committee, because it is inquiring into something, right? Whether the Bofors contract scam happened, didn't happen. It is not an advisory committee. It is an inquiry committee. So this one is incorrect. The first statement: inquiry committee is constituted by speaker, chairperson. Yes, every committee in fact is constituted by speaker or chairperson. The second part also is correct, that to inquire into specific subjects. Yes, absolutely. And this much should be your common sense and your courage also, that this statement is too generic to be incorrect, right? So this will be correct. The third statement: advisory committees are concerned with bills and their procedures. Yes, this is also a generic statement, and both the statements are correct. Only 2 statements here are correct. So B is the correct answer. You don't have to write much from here. Let's move on to Public Accounts Committee. The second question: consider the following statements regarding the Public Accounts Committee. PAC was first established under the provisions of the Government of India Act 1919. PAC consists of 30 members elected by proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and chairman of PAC is invariably selected from the ruling party since 1967. How many of the given statements are correct? Go statement by statement and start writing also. Give heading Public Accounts Committee. Most important, Financial Committee. So this is a part of Financial Committee, one of the financial committees. There are 3 financial committees and you need to know each and every detail from each financial committee. Why? Because there are only 3 of them and these are most important committees. Okay. So you are expected that you would be knowing each and every detail. You are not expected that you should be knowing about the library committee or these kind of, no. But these 3 committees are very important. So the first statement is absolutely correct. PAC was established under the Government of India Act of 1919. But was it established in 1919? No. It was established in 1921. Please write this down. It was established under 1919 Act, but was established under 1921, in 1921. In 2021, PAC was very much in news because it completed 100 years of its formation, right? And the job of PAC is to understand and assess how the money is being spent, how the public money is being spent. Second statement is incorrect. And please write this down. There are 22 members in PAC. Okay. 15 members are from Lok Sabha and 7 members are from Rajya Sabha. Okay. So this is very important. This is an incorrect statement. This is the correct formulation. 22 members are there. This much part is correct. Proportional representation by single transferable vote. This is the method that all the committee members are selected by. Okay, elected by. So this is correct. But what have we learned? We have learned that even if half of the statement is incorrect, the entire statement becomes incorrect. So I hope you have written this down. Then chairman of PAC is invariably selected from ruling party. No, this is incorrect. Since 1967, the chairman of PAC has been elected by from the opposition party invariably. Please write this down. Before 1967, the chairperson was mostly from the ruling party and this was a problem. Why? Because Public Accounts Committee has to check whether there is whether the money is being spent correctly or not, whether the government is wasting money or not, right? Whether there is some corruption, there is some discrepancy, etc. So these kind of things, the leader of such a committee has to be from the opposition. Otherwise, there will be mismatch. Otherwise, there will be bias. Okay, so I hope you understand the logic behind it and please write this down. Write down another thing about the Public Accounts Committee, that a minister cannot be a member. Minister can't be a member, and this is across the financial committees. In all the financial committees, there are 3 financial committees. In any financial committee, the minister cannot be a member. Think why this will be? Because committee is ultimately trying to find out whether government has done any wrong job or not, right? So minister will not be a member, so that bias is not there. I hope you understand the logic behind it. Then who is the chairperson? Chairperson has to be from the opposition party. That is fine. But who appoints the chairperson? The speaker or the chair appoints the chairperson from among the members only. Among the members. So there are 22 members in the Public Accounts Committee. Within those 22 members only, the chairperson has to be appointed. I hope you understand that and there is nothing that you are confused about. Now this particular committee is assisted by Comptroller and Auditor General of India as well, CAG. And this is very important, that CAG acts as a friend, philosopher, guide to the Public Accounts Committee. Please note this down. This is very, very, very important. Okay. And the Public Accounts Committee functions, you can just read them through from your M. Laxmikant. I will not be completing it here because there are many functions. But overall, this is the only committee that is having the assistance of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Only committee that way. Okay. So I hope you understand that. And I have already told you that this committee or any committee which is not the day-to-day functioning committee cannot inquire into the day-to-day matters. I hope you understand, and pack is done now. Okay, pack is done. Next question. Which limitation is imposed on the functioning of department-related standing committees? They are not allowed to examine annual reports of ministries or departments. They should not consider the matters of day-to-day administration of the concerned ministries or departments. They can suggest cut motions during the consideration of demand for grants, and they have the power to issue binding orders to ministries. Read the question very carefully. They are asking that what are the limitations of department-related standing committees? So, department-related standing committees, the answer to this is B. That this is the biggest limitation that they have, that they cannot consider the matters of day-to-day administration. Now, the rest of these three, first is incorrect because they are actually allowed. Don't write anything down right now. I will complete the department-related standing committees with you. But they are allowed to examine annual reports. They cannot suggest cut motions. They cannot suggest cut motions during the consideration of demand for grants. And they do not have the power to actually issue binding orders. In fact, none of the parliamentary committees has powers to issue binding orders to the ministries. I hope this is very, very clear to you. That is the limitation of every committee. Now understand the role of department-related standing committees and put a small heading, department-related standing committees. See, department-related standing committees, very clear from this name, that they are limited to the departments by which they are whom they are assessing actually. So their scope is narrower than, let's say, the scope of overall Public Accounts Committee. So Public Accounts Committee will be assessing the entire budget, for example. But the department related standing committee will be assessing only the department related aspects of it. So the scope is narrower. Now, department related standing committee was established on the recommendations of the Rules Committee. Please note this down. Established on the recommendations of Rules Committee of Lok Sabha in 1993. So, Rules Committee of Lok Sabha suggested that there should be department-related standing committees, and they were established in 1993, much later after the Public Accounts Committee, much later after the Estimates Committee. So, I hope you understand. They were further, number of committees were further expanded in 2003, 2004, and right now there are 24 department-related standing committees. I hope this is very clear. 24. You don't need to remember the names of all these standing committees. Standing committees means they are permanent committees. So I hope you remember this again. Now mention about the members, the number of members. There are total 31 members in the department related standing committees, out of which 21 come from Lok Sabha, 10 come from Rajya Sabha. So all the 24 department related standing committees have same structure, 21 from Lok Sabha, 10 from Rajya Sabha. I hope you understand. Then the members overall, how are the members chosen? The members are chosen as nominated. They are nominated by presiding officer. They are not elected by proportional representation and single transferable vote. Nominated by the presiding officer. Okay, so speaker will nominate these 21 members for a particular committee, and chairperson will nominate the 10 members for a particular committee. I hope you understand. Even in these department related standing committees, minister can't be a member. Minister can't be a member because he or she is a part of the government itself, and these committees are entrusted to criticize and to critically examine the government expenditure and everything. I hope this is very clear. Then write down the term. The term of department related standing committees is 1 year, and in fact all the committees function for 1 year respectively. I hope you understand. Fine. Then the number of committees. There are 24 committees. Out of them, 8 committees work under the Rajya Sabha and 16 committees work under the Lok Sabha. Okay, these kind of trivial details are also important because questions can be formed from them. Okay, questions can anytime be formed from them. So please remember that don't take them very lightly, these details. Now, of course, you are not supposed to remember the name of the committees. That much is not required. But yes, you are supposed to actually remember the details. Okay. So, minister cannot be a member, and this is something you have to remember very correctly. Move on to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the estimates committee. Regarding the estimates committee. The chairperson of committee is always and at any circumstance from the ruling party. The committee examines budget estimates before they are voted by the parliament, and the committee suggests economies in public expenditure. How many of the given statements are correct? See, estimates committee is again one of the financial committees, and let's go statement by statement. The first statement, although it sounds very radical, but it is absolutely correct. The chairperson of estimates committee is supposed to be from the ruling party. This has become a convention, and it is not that the person has to be from the ministry. Minister cannot be a member. But there are people who are from the ruling party who have not been made a minister. Every person does not become a minister. If you remember, the cap of becoming a minister is 15% of Lok Sabha. Remember? So, first statement is correct that estimates committee will have the person from ruling party as their chairperson. So, this is correct. Please write this down. Now, second statement is actually incorrect. Second statement is incorrect. The function of estimate committee is in the nature of a post-mortem. That after the particular expense has been sanctioned, then they will see that whether the expense could have been in a better manner or they could have been reduced, whether they could have economies in public expenditure or not. So third statement is correct. Basically, if you are allotting 100 crore for a scheme, then the estimate committee would see the functioning of the scheme and then suggest that this can be done in 80 crores also. These kind of functions, but not before they are voted by the parliament. This is after they are voted by the parliament. So second statement becomes incorrect, and this is one of the criticisms also. First and third statement is correct. So only two statements are correct, and this one is your B. Now, please write estimates committee and mention the details, the final notes that you will require. Estimates committee. Overall, the committee originated from the same Government of India Act 1919. So, the origination is same. But please understand that the Public Accounts Committee had continuity. It established in 1921 and it had continued every year to be established again and again. But Estimates Committee in post-independent India was established for the first time in the year 1950. So not in 1947. It was in 1950 on the recommendation of John Mathai. On the recommendation of John Mathai, who was the finance minister. Okay, that he recommended that there should be an estimates committee. So I hope you will remember this. This is the slight difference between estimates committee. So if you get a question on estimates committee that it established in 1921 itself, no. First estimates committee after independence was in 1950. A very important part of estimates committee is that the members can be only from Lok Sabha. Only from Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha does not have membership. Rajya Sabha members do not have membership in the estimates committee. Okay, I hope you understand. How many members are there in estimates committee? There are 30 members. Originally, there were 25 members. Eventually, they were raised to 30 members. How many members do department-related standing committees have? 31 members. How many members does public account committee have? 22 members. Okay. These details are very, very important. Okay. Even in this, minister can't be elected as a member. Minister cannot be elected. But can a person from the ruling party be elected? Yes, absolutely can be elected. Okay. So this is very clear. Then when I say that members from the chairperson, members from the ruling party can be elected, the chairperson will invariably be from the ruling party. This I have already told you. Chairperson will invariably be from the ruling party. This is absolutely opposite to the Public Accounts Committee, wherein the chairperson from 1967 has been from the primary opposition party. Another very important thing which you need to remember. Although estimates committee will keep on recommending that you should have economies of scale, etc., it will not go into the domain of the committee on public undertaking. Committee on public undertaking. So there is a third financial committee, which is committee on public undertaking, which sees that how these public undertakings are functioning and how they're not functioning. So these kind of the public undertakings which are covered under committee on public undertaking, estimates committee will not look into them. This is to maintain the workflow and avoid duplication, etc. Another very important thing is that estimates committee or any other committee for that matter, they cannot question the policy itself, especially estimates committee cannot question the policy itself, right? For example, MG Narega. MG Narega is a scheme of the central government. So estimates committee will not say that why are you running MG Narega? MG Narega would be stopped. No. Estimates committee will only tell them that this is how you can reduce your MG Narega budget by 100 crores. Right? This is our recommendation. This is what estimates committee is supposed to do. Nothing more than that. And of course, day-to-day administration, estimates committee should not intervene in that. I hope you understand. Let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements about the Committee on Public Undertakings. The committee examines the reports of CAG on public undertakings. The Committee on Public Undertakings is primarily concerned with broader policy matters. And the Committee on Public Undertakings has 15 members from the Lok Sabha. How many of the given statements are correct? Go statement by statement, put up a heading. The first statement is correct. CAG reports on the public sector undertaking are supposed to be assessed by the Committee on Public Undertaking. Does that mean that that aspect of the CAG report cannot be assessed by the Public Accounts Committee? No. Public Accounts Committee can assess every and any part of the CAG report. However, this part of the CAG report, which is being assessed by the Committee on Public Undertaking, it cannot be assessed by the Estimates Committee. Are you understanding? So, Estimates Committee's job, so for example, if I were to show you through a Venn diagram, this is the job of Estimates Committee. This is the job of Estimates Committee when in terms of public undertakings. Okay. And this is the job of Committee on Public Undertakings. So let's say Committee on Public Undertakings is taking forward 50 undertakings under it. And only 4 to 5 undertakings are such that are not being covered by Committee on Public Undertakings. Only those 4 to 5 will be assessed by the Estimates Committee. Otherwise, when there is a separate committee for public undertakings, then why will any other committee get into it? But the Public Accounts Committee can get into anything at all. Okay. So, first statement is correct. Committee on Public Undertakings primarily concerned with broader policy matters? No. It is concerned with how the public undertakings are functioning. That's all. And Committee on Public Undertakings has 15 members from Lok Sabha. Yes, please write this down. The membership is same as the Public Accounts Committee. It has 15 plus 7 members, total 22 members. 15 members from Lok Sabha, 7 members from Rajya Sabha. I hope this is very clear to you. Now write down the details that you need to write down on the Committee on Public Undertakings. So for example, the Estimates Committee, the Department Related Standing Committees were formulated on the recommendations of the Rules Committee. Similarly, the Committee on Public Undertakings was made on the recommendation of the Krishna Menon Committee. Made on the recommendation of the Krishna Menon Committee, and the year was 1964. Okay, much before the Committee on Public Undertakings. Year was much before the Department Related Standing Committees. Year was 1964. How you can remember this? You can remember this by the Indo-China War. Near about the Indo-China War. This was also the year when Jawaharlal Nehru died. Okay, so very important. Number of members, I have already told you. There are 22 members. Again, minister cannot be elected. So, you are supposed to, make these kind of short forms for your preparation, wherein you just put a cross on minister and you know that what it means. Okay, the minister cannot be elected. Now, the members can be only from Lok Sabha. The chairperson can be only from Lok Sabha. Only from Lok Sabha, the chairperson, not the members. The chairperson can be only from Lok Sabha. So, the thing is that every committee has some unique things, right? Estimate committee cannot have members from Rajya Sabha at all. The Committee on Public Undertakings cannot have a chairperson as a Rajya Sabha member. So these are the things from where UPSC is now starting making questions. And you don't need to lose a lot of sleep over them. If you read these statements, these trivial statements, 50 to 60 times before your prelims examination, you are sure to remember them. And these notes are going to help you do exactly that. People do this mistake of when they start revising the entire Laxmikant, and they will find a lot of solace in revising the things that they already know. But the trick of the matter is to revise the things that you don't remember very nicely. Okay, that is the trick of the matter. So that is there. Then another very important and trivial thing is that Committee on Public Undertakings cannot take up the assessment of more than 10 to 12 public sector undertakings per year. Okay, so this is a limited committee. Not more than 10 to 12 public undertakings can be taken up by the Committee on Public Undertakings. I hope you understand and there's nothing to explain over here. Move on to the next question. Consider the following statements about expert assistance for the Public Accounts Committee. The Public Accounts Committee is assisted by CAC. Expert assistance from Public Account Committee is provided by the members. And expert assistance for the Public Accounts Committee is nominated by the Speaker. How many of the given statements are correct? So let's go again. This is a relatively very easy question as such. You don't need to think a lot about it. The first statement is absolutely correct. The Public Accounts Committee is assisted by the CAG. So yes, this is correct. And in fact, CAG is the organization which acts as a friend philosopher guide. And nowadays you are getting questions which are asking you these statement based. So there will be a long passage, like 2-3 lines ka passage, and then there will be a question that which committee is being talked about over here, right? So that way it's the Public Accounts Committee here. The next statement, expert assistance for Public Accounts Committee is provided by the members. See, members are the MPs, right? The members of Parliament, not ministers, but MPs. MPs do not give expert assistance. Okay. And when they do not give expert assistance, they cannot be nominated by Speaker as well. First of all, Speaker does not nominate. It's proportional representation by single transferable vote. But the Speaker cannot nominate. The experts will come from outside. The experts are supposed to come from outside. So if the Public Account Committee needs, then it can get experts for itself, but these experts will not be given these are not the members of parliament. These are not appointed by the speaker. Okay, so both these statements are incorrect. I hope you understand that why they are incorrect, and only one is the answer to this one. Moving on, next question. Consider the following statements about parliamentary committees in India. The Public Accounts Committee and the Committee on Public Undertakings consist of the same number of members from both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The department standing committees have a chairperson appointed from among the Lok Sabha members by the Speaker. And Estimates Committee is the only committee in India that involves expert assistance from the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. First of all, find out the absolutely incorrect statement. You know the third statement is absolutely incorrect because the Estimates Committee, not the Estimates Committee, it's the Public Accounts Committee which is the only committee which gets assistance from CAG. So this one becomes incorrect. First statement is correct, and these are the kind of questions that are coming up wherein your two sets of knowledge are being tested together. So Public Accounts Committee, Committee on Public Undertakings, both of them have 22 members, 15 from Lok Sabha, 7 from Rajya Sabha. Estimates Committee, members are only from Lok Sabha, 30 members totally. Department Standing Committee have a chairperson appointed among the Lok Sabha by Speaker. Yes, this is absolutely correct. Generic statement, correct statement. So only two statements here are correct. Next. Consider the following statements regarding the establishment of parliamentary committees in India. The Committee on Public Undertakings was established after the department standing committees. The Estimate Committee was established under the Government of India Act 1919, and the Public Accounts Committee and the Department Standing Committees were both established in the same decade. How many of the above statements are correct? Again, if you have not studied this topic in detail, you cannot even think of attempting this question because this is demanding that you apply your knowledge from here and there in one question. So first statement you know is absolutely incorrect. Committee on Public Sector Undertakings was in 1964, the year that Jawaharlal Nehru died, and Department Standing Committee was in 1993. Right? So this is incorrect. Estimates Committee established under Government of India Act? No. It was established in 1950 on the recommendation of John Mathai. First time it was established in 1921, no doubt. But it did not continue post-independence. First time it was established in 1950. Okay. So this is incorrect. And this is absolutely pathetically incorrect because Public Accounts Committee is continuing from 1921. Department Standing Committees is 1993. So in three statements, and that too such detailed statements, choosing none is very difficult, but here none is the answer. So I hope now you are able to apply the knowledge that you have gained till now and answer these questions. Next question. Consider the following statements about parliamentary committees. The Public Accounts Committee cannot question Parliament's policy but can intervene in day-to-day administration. Estimates Committee is limited in the number of public undertakings it can examine and lacks technical expertise. And Department Standing Committee focus solely on public expenditure and financial accountability. How many of the given statements are correct? Go one by one, and it is again a very application based question. First statement, Public Accounts Committee cannot question Parliament's policy but can intervene in the day-to-day administration. This one is absolutely incorrect because you know that apart from the day-to-day administration committees, the procedural committees, none of the committee can actually participate in the day-to-day administration and its assessment. So first is incorrect. Estimates Committee is limited in the number of public undertakings. This much is correct because Estimates Committee can only take up the public undertakings which are not being taken up by the Committee on Public Undertakings. But It lacks technical expertise is incorrect because it can get technical expertise. Okay, so this is incorrect. Department standing committees focus solely on public expenditure, financial accountability. No. Departmental standing committees can be assessing the policy matters also within their own department. So question 9, again, none is the answer. Very difficult to choose none as your answer, but it is none over here. Fine, I hope you understand that. Next question. Consider the following statements about parliamentary committees. The Estimates Committee has a longer term of office compared to the Public Accounts Committee. Department standing committees have a higher number of members than the Estimates Committee. Term for office for all these committees is more than 1 year. How many of the given statements are correct? Go one by one. All the committees have 1 year tenure as their tenure. It's a standard procedure, 1 year. So, first statement is incorrect. The second statement is absolutely correct because estimates committee has 30 members and department standing committees have 31 members. So by one member, your one statement can get incorrect. That's why more and more revision is required. How many of the above statements are correct? Only one statement is correct over here. Understood? Next one. Consider the following statements regarding parliamentary committees. Committee on Public Undertakings and department-related standing committees have the authority to disallow expenditures. The Estimates Committee holds the power to consider day-to-day administration matters of ministries and departments, and Public Accounts Committee cannot disallow expenditure but can issue orders regarding the same. How many of the given statements are correct? Now, this should be a walking game for you. There is nothing that is difficult in this. First statement is incorrect. In fact, it is just to confuse you that two specific kind of committees are written. None of the committees have the authority to disallow expenditure. So, this overall becomes incorrect. Second, even second is incorrect. You already know day-to-day administration cannot be considered. And third, Public Accounts Committee cannot disallow expenditure but can issue orders regarding the same. How is this possible? This is incorrect. When they cannot disallow expenditure, they have no order issuing authority at all. Committees are that way powerless. Wherever the word committee is there, no orders, no penal provisions, no binding, nothing. Always this is the standard rule. Okay, so here none is the answer. Consider the following statements regarding parliamentary committees. Unlike the Public Accounts Committee, the chairman of the Estimates Committee is usually from the ruling party. Committee on Public Undertakings involves expert assistance for its proceedings, and departmental standing committees do not have a chairman but involve expert assistance. Now, how many of the given statements are correct? See, first one is absolutely correct. Now, you may think that one of the earlier questions said that it is always supposed to be from the ruling party. Yes, it is always supposed to be from the ruling party, the head of the estimates committee. But this does not make the usually incorrect. Are you understanding? So don't read too much into it. Usually from the ruling party, yes, usually from the ruling party, and that usually is always, right? So this is correct. Then the committee on public undertakings involve expert assistance? No. CAG reports are a part of expert assistance, but overall it does not involve expert assistance. And department standing committees do not have a chairperson? No. This is incorrect. Every committee is supposed to have a chairperson. Okay. So here only one statement is correct. I hope you will remember this. Last question for the day. Consider the following statements about parliamentary committees. The Public Accounts Committee and the Committee on Public Undertakings are the only single committees under both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. The number of department standing committees differs under the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and departmental standing committees cover a narrower scope than the other committees. See the absolutely incorrect one. The second statement is absolutely incorrect because every department related standing committee has 31 members. So this one becomes incorrect. The first one is actually correct. From the financial committees, the estimate committee only has members from Lok Sabha, right? So public account committee and public undertaking committee are the only two committees under both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So this is absolutely correct. And even the third statement is correct, that department standing committees have a narrower scope. I already told you about this, that they have a narrower scope as compared to the financial committees, etc. So here only two statements are correct. I hope you will be able to understand why. Alright, so now we are at the end of this particular session. What is your responsibility over here? Your responsibility is to complete your notes. I have completed most of them for you, but go to M. Laxmikant, read that chapter once and for all finally, and close that chapter from the book forever, from it till at least the prelims examination. This chapter you will not need to open even for the mains from Laxmikant. Committee system is an important topic from mains, but in Laxmikant there is nothing important that you can extract for mains. I hope you understand that. So this is your responsibility. Very, very short and crisp notes for these committee system. Not more than 2-page notes. 2-page also is a lot for this topic, but complete your notes and no need to write all the committee names. No, nothing. That much does not come, and this trick, this knowledge will come only when you actually see the previous year questions, that what to extract, what not to extract. Okay, I'm trying to build that in you, but that will still require your efforts. Okay, so let me just tell you that how we are going to cover the entire syllabus this way. Like we just completed this particular topic, we are going to revise entire prelim syllabus through 3000 plus MCQs. Topics like modern history, Indian polity, geography, economy, art and culture, current affairs, ancient medieval, environment, ecology, science and tech. These are all the subjects that are asked in your prelims examination. Our goal is to make your mind active and make you answer the questions in such a manner that you, first of all, kill your fear of answering MCQs, get used to the newer pattern that UPSC has now introduced, and revise your entire syllabus through MCQs, of course. We have tried to keep it very affordable so that everyone can afford it, and this is basically less than what you might spend at a restaurant at one time. Okay, so you contact this number and go to this website to know more about it, and if you think this will help you, go for this course. I'll be taking all the subjects. So thank you for watching. I hope you derived some value out of it, and I'll see you all in the next lecture. Bye bye.